Welcome back to another episode of the Be Who You Came to Be podcast. I'm your host, Tara Renze, coming at you with some allergies and a mild head cold. So if I sound like a 1980s 900 operator, that's why. But you know what? We power through, we show up, we do the thing. And I did not want to miss this week's episode for you because it's something that I've been working on, something that I've been thinking about, and something that I need you to be thinking about because the world needs you to be who you came to be, which means doing the things, taking the first step, going all in, shattering the glass ceiling, going in on exactly who it is that you came to be and doing the thing that you want to do. You know, so often in our lives, we put it off. Tomorrow, right? The timing's not right. And we just make excuses because we're not ready, we're not big enough, all the things, the impostor syndrome, all of it creeps in. And we find ourselves putting off something that we've always wanted to do. And sometimes that is months, sometimes that is years, sometimes that is decades. So today's episode is going to be all about tomatoes. Yes, my favorite summer vegetable, inspired by my grandfather Herb, who planted the most amazing tomatoes. Like Herbie's tomatoes was a thing in the summer. Like we would count down the days until his tomatoes were ready to go. And this man, he grew so many different types of tomatoes and they were all 10 out of 10. Get out a knife, a little salt, that's all you needed. They were absolutely delicious. We're going to be talking about the tomato garden and how tomatoes are not grown overnight. They're grown one day at a time, one tomato at a time, one failure at a time to get that tomato garden right. Now, actually, this story was not inspired by my grandfather, even though he was my first love for tomatoes. But I had an audience member who wrote me a note months after he had heard my keynote. And in my keynote, if you guys have read my book, you know that I talk about these things called butterfly goals. Butterfly goals are these just audacious goals that we have for ourselves, things that we want to do, that we've always wanted to do, but we don't do them because we are stuck as a caterpillar. And when we think about the transition of a caterpillar to a butterfly, like that's wild, right? I mean, it has to wrap itself up in a chrysalis and turn itself into goo and completely reinvent itself. And then it has to get out of the chrysalis and spread its wings and fly. Seems like a lot. And that's why we don't do the butterfly goals because we think, it's pretty easy just being this fat little caterpillar. I'm just going to stick with that. But what happens when we actually start doing things that we've always wanted to do that aren't easy? What happens? Like it's deeply fulfilling. It shows us a new side of ourselves. It shows us our tenacity. And it also gives us the discipline that we need to go in on the things that matter most and to be who we came to be. So this man said, I got to tell you, your butterfly goal of being on a game show, which I'm going to tell you guys that story here in a minute, inspired me to do something that maybe sounds trivial, but it's something I've always wanted to do. And I'd failed at in the past. And so I just threw in the towel and said, I'm not going to do it. He's like, but I always wanted to have a tomato garden. I always wanted to have a beautiful, delicious tomato garden that we could make salsas and, ragu and marinara sauce and all things, and just freaking great tomatoes. Like, let's not underestimate the power of a really great tomato. So he said that after he heard it, he was like, you know what? I'm going to do the damn thing. I've got the perfect spot. I'm going to plant the tomatoes. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out how to keep the rabbits out, how to keep the bugs off, and how to grow the best damn tomatoes. And he said, and I got to tell you, I grew the best damn tomatoes. And it wasn't just the discipline of growing them. He's like, but it was so fun that to get to take the tomatoes into the office and to tell everyone about my tomato garden, to just share that with people. And people were so excited for me, they were so excited that he grew those tomatoes and, sharing it with family, sharing it with friends. He's like, but it was also just a really great experience to go back to the discipline of starting something new and figuring it out. And that's what a butterfly goal is. It's figuring it out and taking it one day at a time. One of the things that breaks my heart when I talk to people is I ask them, who do you compare yourself to? And so often they actually say, I compare myself to who I thought I would be. Man, that breaks my heart. It literally brings tears to my eyes and my heart in my stomach. Because here's the thing, being who we came to be is a daily journey. It is not a destination. Like, you're not going to be who you came to be when you achieve XYZ. Like, that's just one step along the way of a bigger, better version of you. That's what being who you came to be means, is that we write our stories one day at a time. We start something new one day at a time. We tend to the garden one day at a time. The tomatoes aren't grown overnight. The butterfly didn't become the caterpillar didn't become the butterfly overnight. All of this takes time. But so often we wait, right? We wait for the right season, the right money, the right time, the right courage, the right soil, the right temperature, all the things. We can make a million excuses on why not to do things versus just doing the damn thing. Just do the damn thing. Just frickin' start. Figure it out along the way. Are you going to fail? Yes. Is it going to work out? Yes. It's not going to work out, and then it's going to work out. It not working out always works out. But you got to do the damn thing. You got to start today and figure it out every day. That's how you be who you came to be. That's how you grow a tomato garden. That's how you become a butterfly, is you start today and figure it out. You just keep going. And then what happens, right? The seeds start to grow, they start to show that they're there, and then they grow even more, and then you start to see the fruit, and you start to get excited, and then the bugs come in, and you have to figure out how to get the bugs off. It's a journey. Nothing's easy in life. Like, I don't know why we have gotten wrapped up in society about getting so frustrated when things don't go our way, when things don't work out, versus being like, oh, this was an unexpected roadblock. This was an unexpected sidestep that I didn't think I was going to have to face. But it's part of growing the tomatoes. It's part of being the butterfly. It's part of being who you came to be. So what is the damn thing that you want to do? Is it planting the garden? Is it writing a book? Is it taking a trip? Is it starting a business, signing up for a class, losing some weight, running a marathon, planting a tomato garden? I don't know, making jelly, starting a sewing class, painting. There's so many things. And here's the cool thing. This is where you are really going to figure out who you are, what authenticities you have inside you, what makes you tick, what makes you excited. And then you're going to get to see your resilience, your strength, your perseverance, your love, your joy, your excitement, all get ignited because of who you are and who you're coming to be. So I want you to think about that. And what excuses are you making for that? I think about my book, which is out on pre-order now, self-published before. Like, when I first off, it took me forever to write the damn book, okay? I kept writing the book. I kept thinking it sucked. And then finally, you know what I did? I said, Tara, quit writing this book for other people and trying to make some splashy business book. Just write a book from your heart. Write a book that you love. And you know what? If you want to put gold foil on the cover and make it pretty so women like it, do it. Who cares? You don't have to have a book for men and women. Like, write a book for a very specific audience. And once I gave myself the permission to write the book as I wanted to write it, it started happening one day at a time, one chapter at a time, one story at a time. And then I got done with the book and I was like, well, what do I do now? Like, I don't have any publishing houses calling me. Like, nobody wants my book. I said, fuck it. I'm going to self-publish it. Found a publisher, got it printed, had all the copies shipped to my house. And I said, okay, now I'm going to sell my book. And I did. I sold one copy at a time out of the house, over 5,000 copies over several years, got it on Amazon for print on demand. And now this book, I got to tell you, if you're looking at it look at this. This is like an actual book. Like, this is actually like a bookstore book. And here's the coolest thing. If you get the book, it still has the beautiful throwback, self-published gold foil hardcover so it can go on your coffee table. This has been 5 years in the making. I mean, I started out speaking in 2017, 2018. Be Who You Came to Be was a message that was written to me 18 years ago. This book has been in the works, and it just took me actually starting to do it and then figuring it out each step along the way. What is your tomato garden? What is your butterfly goal? You guys have maybe heard me tell the game show story of growing up in this small town in Kansas, 300 people. And it was the 80s. We had three TV stations, ABC, NBC, CBS, and we watched every game show that was out there. My brothers and I freaking loved game shows. And I declared at a very young age, like, I'm going to get on a game show someday. My brothers thought I was freaking nuts. They were like, do you know where we live? We live in Cortland, Kansas, population 300. Yeah, not New York City, not LA. And I was like, I'm going to be on a game show. And we continue to watch game shows. We love these freaking game shows, right? It was like the first version of reality TV. So we were watching real people win real money, lose real money, play games, epic. Well, guess what? Decades went by. No one was calling me to put me on a game show. No one cared about this childhood dream of mine. You know, the game show joke continued. You got on the game show yet? Not yet. Not yet. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this butterfly goal come true. I'm going to plant the seeds for this freaking tomato garden. I'm going to get my ass on a game show. It took me over a year of dead ends, of people thinking I was crazy when I was like, I'm trying to get on a game show. I mean, people were like, really? That's what you're doing with your time? Yeah, I'm trying to get on a game show. It was my childhood dream. It was something that I wanted to always experience was, you know, getting on the show, being with the host, the lighted up stage. It looks so cool. I mean, it looks like a freaking game show and a game show, like a, you know, it looks like you're in the middle of a video game or something. Like it's just the coolest experience ever. And after a year, I got cast on ABC's $100,000 Pyramid. I got to fly to New York. I got to be on the game show. My husband and mom got to be in the studio audience. And I epically failed on the game show, said Lance Armstrong was an astronaut, lost $37,500 when I could have won it, got roasted by Michael Strahan. But guess what? I kept showing up. I kept tending to the dream. I got back in the winner's circle and I won $100,000. Now, that didn't happen overnight. That didn't happen without a lot of perseverance, with a lot of self-regard, with a lot of self-awareness and self-acceptance. You know, same with my book. There's people out there who've given me shitty reviews, a 1-star review. There's people out there who love the book. You know, got on the game show, failed miserably, couldn't hardly spit the words out. And then I found my rhythm. And I kept going. And instead of completely, you know, mind fucking myself, sorry about the language, I decided to stay mentally fit and to go all in. It's the same thing with your butterfly goal. It's the same thing with your tomato garden. It not working out always works out. You are going to have to figure out how to persevere, how to do it, and only one day at a time. Only one day at a time. You could put something off forever. You could file it under someday, or you could start today, or you could be brave enough to tell someone about something that you've always wanted to do that you've never done. What is it? What is it? You know, I had Tom Tursich on my podcast, and he is one of 10 people to walk the world. It took him years to get ready to walk the world, and then it took him 7 freaking years to walk the world. If Tom Tursich can walk the world, what do you want to do? Grow a tomato garden, start a sewing class, get in shape. I don't know, take a cooking class, go get your nursing degree. It never ends. We always want to start new things. You know, I'm so proud of my oldest son. He started golfing this year. And, you know, he's like, it's fun to have him come home every day. How was your golf game? Not so great. Had a couple good shots, a couple really bad shots. I'm like, yeah, welcome to golf. Like, welcome to the game of golf. But it's been fun to watch him. And, you know, he has this tomato garden butterfly goal that he's like, you know, next spring, I'm not going to be playing basketball because he's a senior. I'll be going to college. He's like, maybe I'll go out for the golf team. I'm not going to I don't know if I'll make it, but you never know. That butterfly goal started this summer with him figuring out, you know, how to swing the club. He's watched a ton of TikToks. He's gone into the golf shops. He's gotten lessons. He's figuring it out. And most importantly, he goes and hits the ball as many days a week as he can because he knows that's the only way he's going to get better. That's the only way he's going to figure it out. If you guys follow Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce, you know, I'm a big Chiefs fan here. I know I got some Eagles fans that listen. I loved Jason Kelce in his retirement speech. He thanked his band director. Because he said, you were one of the first people who taught me about perseverance, about the only way to get good at anything, the only way to figure anything out is to show up every day. He said, nobody starts out playing an instrument and is naturally good. Now, you know, maybe Mozart, okay? Like there are, you know, people who are born like prodigies. I'm talking about a general human being. To get good at a musical instrument or a sport, it's something that you have to practice. You have to put in the discipline and time for. And same with you in your life. It's not too late. What do you want to do? What is something that you've always put off? And I want you to do it now. I want you to do it. Declare it today. Find me, tag me, email me, DM me. I'm going to cheer you on. I'd love to share your stories. Not when it's convenient, but today. And here's the thing. This is emotional intelligence. You can talk yourself into or out of anything. Anything. You can talk yourself into or out of anything. Why not talk yourself into it? Why not talk yourself into it? Why not say, why not me? Why not me? Why? I could do that. Why not me? And then start and figure out a way to do it. That is being mentally fit. It's about self-awareness. Knowing when you start making excuses. Using that clear mirror that I talk about to self-assess so that you can say, hey, what am I doing well? Where do I need to work? How do I troubleshoot this? It's not going to be easy. But if you're going to show yourself how much you're worth, it's going to be so fulfilling. Tap into your impulse control. Procrastination is impulsive. We just put it off. What if you actually dialed that in a little bit and said, hey, you know what? Impulsively, I'm just going to put this off, but I'm not. I'm actually going to make time for it. In total transparency, I thought about putting off this podcast because I haven't felt great. And I said, hey, I could choose how I show up. I don't want to let my listeners down. I'm going to record the damn podcast. So I did. Here I am recording it right now. Optimism. One of my favorite and most important emotional intelligence traits is that you believe in the best, even when things aren't going your way. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. We get what we believe. Not what we deserve, we get what we believe. The gentleman who shared the tomato story with me, if he would have set out saying, I'm going to try to do this tomato garden again, but I guarantee you it's not going to work, it wouldn't have worked. It would not have worked because he wouldn't have figured out how to make it work. He had to figure out how to keep the rabbits out, how to keep the bugs out, how to grow the tomatoes, how much water they needed, where to plant them so they got the right amount of sun, all those things that went into the perfect tomato because he was optimistic. He had enough self-regard to know that, hey, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to figure it out. And then he just kept doing it one day at a time. And then finally, it's really about self-actualization. That's what being who you came to be is that you can see a future version of yourself. Now, sometimes we fall into, this is where we might find ourselves in the trap of feeling like an imposter. Like, who am I? I couldn't do that. Who do I think I am? People are going to think I'm crazy. All the things that we talk ourselves out of. Self-actualization, I believe, like when we feel imposter syndrome, it's because we're seeing a future version of ourselves that we haven't met yet because we haven't put in the time and discipline to get ourselves to that. That is being who we came to be. Ignite that imposter syndrome. Ignite it. Say, hey, I want to feel out of my comfort zone. I want to do something that's challenging. I want to show myself what I'm worth. And I want to have a fulfilling experience that made me figure it out, right? It makes for the best stories. It's when we feel the best is when we actually had to work a little bit at getting something worth it. And here's the thing. Everything worth it requires work. It requires love. It requires dedication, persistence, tenacity, forgiveness, problem solving, all those things. Planting tomatoes, your butterfly goal, writing a book, getting on a game show, is really just EQ in action. So here's the challenge. This week, grow the tomatoes. Grow your tomatoes, whatever they are. Maybe it's calling someone that you haven't called. Maybe it's working on a relationship that you need to work on, picking up the phone, writing a letter. Maybe it's signing up for a class. You want to pursue a passion or talent of yours. Maybe you're wanting to write a book. Start the book, write one story. Write one story at a time. Maybe it's planting a garden. Maybe it's running a marathon. Maybe it's applying for a position in your company that you never applied for because you thought, I'm not really qualified enough. Who cares? Put your resume in. Believe in yourself a little bit more. Sign up and do it today. Plant the seeds today. Stop making the excuses. Because here's the thing. No one's promised tomorrow. No one's promised tomorrow. If you've been listening for a while, you know that I lost my dad unexpectedly in my 30s. Here one night, gone the next morning. We had a lot of plans. We had a lot of plans that we never got to do because No one was promised tomorrow. It was one of the reasons that I decided to go out on this journey of sharing the Be Who You Came to Be message with people, because I realized life is too short to be something you're not, to be someone you're not, to not go in all in on your dreams, to not take advantage of each day, to show up as the best version of yourself, and to grow the damn tomatoes. It's never too late to live a fulfilled life and to be exactly who it is that you came to be. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the podcast. I hope you're liking it. I hope you're loving it. If so, click subscribe, share it with a friend. And most of all, find me. Tell me about the tomatoes that you're planting. Share with me on Instagram, DM me, email me, Tara@Renze. I would love to know your story, sharing your success, and congratulate you on planting the seeds, growing the tomatoes, and being exactly who it is that you came to be. Keep shining, live unapologetically authentic, and I'll catch you on the next episode.